Have you noticed it lately? That tired feeling, showing up sooner than it used to? You start the day with good intentions, but before lunch, your body's already asking for a break. Maybe it hits after a walk that used to feel easy, or your knees feel a little more stubborn, or your thoughts just a beat behind, like the words are there, but they're harder to reach. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know you're not imagining it, and you're definitely not alone. But here's the thing, this isn't just getting older. Sometimes it's what we're feeding ourselves. The same foods we've trusted for decades, they might be quietly working against us now. That bagel you loved in your 40s, it could be why you're crashing by noon. And that sweet snack you used to reach for when you felt low, it might be dragging you down instead of lifting you up. Now here's the good news. There are honest, nourishing foods that actually work with your body, not against it. Foods that bring back clarity, support your joints, and help you feel steady, strong, and more like yourself again. Today I want to show you 10 of those foods. They're not trendy. They're not complicated. They're simple, everyday things you and your loved ones can find right at your local store. They're low in sugar, light on carbs, and full of the quiet nutrients your body's been asking for. So if you're ready to stop feeling like you're running on empty and start fueling the life you still want to live, then let's begin. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you had cabbage? I get it. It's not exactly the most exciting vegetable on the shelf. It doesn't have the flash of kale or the trendiness of cauliflower rice. But I'll tell you something honest. I wish I'd given cabbage more credit years ago, because after 60, this humble little veggie, it becomes one of your best allies. Cabbage is packed with fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, and natural antioxidants. It supports your digestion, strengthens your immune system, and even helps protect your bones. And unlike starchy vegetables like potatoes or corn, cabbage won't spike your blood sugar. It won't leave you feeling bloated or sluggish either. It's got almost zero carbs and absolutely no added sugar. But here's what makes cabbage truly special. It feeds your gut, and that matters more than most people realize. As we get older, digestion can get a little touchy. Maybe you've noticed more bloating, or just feeling off after a meal. Cabbage helps nourish the good bacteria in your belly. That gut health, it affects how well you digest food, even how you feel. A healthy gut keeps everything else running better, and cabbage plays a quiet but powerful part in that. And the best part? It's easy. Roast it until it's crispy. Shred it into a fresh slaw. Sauté it with a little garlic and olive oil. It's gentle on your wallet, kind to your digestion, and good for your body. If there's one old-school vegetable worth rediscovering, it's cabbage. Now let's shift to something smaller, but just as powerful. Picture this. You walk into a room and forget why you went in there. We've all done it. But when it starts happening more often, it can get frustrating. And sure, you might chalk it up to age, but what if part of it had to do with what you're eating? That's where walnuts come in. These small, brain-shaped nuts, they're actually one of the best foods for supporting memory and focus. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the kind that help calm inflammation in your body. And in your brain. And inflammation? It's sneaky. It hides behind a lot of things we often blame on aging, like joint stiffness, low energy, and that frustrating brain fog. Walnuts help ease that inflammation naturally. And the best part? They're easy. No prep. No mess. Just a small handful gives you those plant-based omega-3s plus fiber and protein to help steady your blood sugar and curb your appetite. Ever get sweet cravings at night? Try a few walnuts with a warm cup of tea. They satisfy without the crash that comes from cookies or cake. What I love about walnuts is that they don't need to shout. They just quietly do the job. Sprinkle them on Greek yogurt, toss them into a salad, blend them into a smoothie, or eat them plain, anytime. They're simple, they're natural, and they're one of the best daily habits you can give your brain, your heart, and your future. Now, I want to shift to something green. Yes, another vegetable, but stay with me here. This one's like nature's energy booster. I'm talking about spinach. Maybe you've had it before, steamed and soggy on the side of a dinner plate. Not exactly exciting, right? But when you look past the way we used to cook it, spinach is a quiet powerhouse. It's packed with vitamins A, C, and K, essential for your eyes, your immune system, and your bones. It's rich in iron, which helps deliver oxygen throughout your body. That's what gives you the stamina to move through your day. And it's loaded with magnesium, a mineral that helps keep your blood pressure in check while supporting your muscles and nerves. Here's the kicker. All of that comes with almost no carbs and zero sugar. It's clean fuel, no crash, no heaviness, just support for the way your body was meant to function. And the best part? It's easy to use. Toss it into your morning eggs, blend it into a smoothie, saute it with garlic, or stir it into soup. Spinach cooks fast, disappears into almost any dish, and adds a quiet punch of nourishment. Think of it as your daily dose of vitality, not from a pill, but straight from nature, just the way your body likes it. Now, speaking of things your body actually likes, have you ever tried plain Greek yogurt? Not the kind with fruit at the bottom, but the thick, creamy, no sugar added kind? Because that little tub of yogurt might just be your gut's best friend. Here's the thing. A lot of yogurts out there look healthy, but they're sneaky. They're loaded with sugar. And that's the last thing we need after 60. But plain, full-fat Greek yogurt? That's a whole different story. It's packed with high-quality protein, something our bodies need more of as we get older. Muscle loss isn't just about looking toned. It's about staying balanced, strong, and independent. And protein helps preserve that muscle while keeping you full and steady throughout the day. And then there are the probiotics. These are the friendly bacteria that help keep your digestion regular and balanced. If you've been feeling bloated, irregular, or just a little off after meals, Greek yogurt can gently help reset things. It's satisfying, it's nourishing, and it's good to your body from the inside out. The healthy fats in full-fat yogurt also support your brain, your hormones, and even your skin. Just be sure to skip the flavored kinds. Stick with the plain version and dress it up yourself. Try a few crushed walnuts, a sprinkle of cinnamon, maybe even a drizzle of olive oil if you like something savory. Once your taste buds adjust, you'll be amazed at how satisfying it is. Funny how the simplest things, like yogurt, spinach, cabbage, and walnuts, can quietly make such a big difference. They don't shout superfood from the rooftops, but they work behind the scenes, supporting every part of your body. And that's exactly what we need more of as we age. Foods that work with us, not against us. Let's keep going, because there's another food I want to tell you about. It comes in a little can, smells a bit fishy at first, and gets overlooked all the time. But it might just be one of the most powerful foods you can eat after 60. Now, before you turn your nose up at the idea, hear me out. I used to avoid them too. The smell, the texture, the fact that they came from a can, it just didn't appeal to me. But once I gave sardines a real shot, I realized something. I'd been missing out on one of the most nourishing, healing foods for older adults. Sardines are tiny, but they're powerhouses of nutrition. They're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, the same kind we talked about with walnuts, but in even higher amounts. These healthy fats are your body's natural anti-inflammatory. So if your knees feel creaky in the morning or your fingers stiff when you get out of bed, inflammation might be the reason. Sardines help calm that down gently without needing medication. And it's not just about your joints. Omega-3s also support brain health and memory. Think of it like oiling the gears in your mind. Suddenly, things start to move a little smoother. A little clearer. You start remembering names more easily, staying focused longer, feeling sharper overall. And here's a bonus. Most people don't expect. Sardines have soft, edible bones that are rich in calcium and vitamin D. Yes, the bones are safe to eat, and they're one of the best natural sources of the nutrients your bones need to stay strong and fracture-free. After 60, we all know how important it is to protect our bone density. Sardines help you do that, naturally and affordably. And if you're worried about toxins like mercury, here's some good news. Because sardines are small and low on the food chain, they don't collect those heavy metals the way bigger fish, like tuna, do. That makes them a clean, safe choice you can enjoy without worry. And no, you don't have to eat them straight out of the can. Try mixing them with mustard, lemon, and olive oil, and spreading that on crisp lettuce or a slice of low-carb toast. Toss them into a salad. Add them to a zucchini noodle bowl. There are plenty of ways to enjoy sardines, and once you get used to them, your body will thank you. There are so many ways to enjoy sardines, once you get used to the idea. And the payoff? It's absolutely worth it. Now, speaking of nutrition-packed foods that have been misunderstood for far too long, let's talk about eggs. Yes, good old-fashioned eggs. For years, people avoided them because of cholesterol concerns. But now we know, for most folks, eggs don't raise blood cholesterol the way we once feared. In fact, they might just be one of the most complete, perfectly balanced foods you can eat, especially after 60. Each egg is filled with high-quality protein. And not just any protein, the kind your body knows exactly how to use. It helps you build and maintain muscle, keeps your metabolism humming, and gives you lasting energy. And I know I've said this before, but it's worth repeating. Maintaining muscle mass is one of the most important things you can do as you age. It protects your balance, your mobility, and your independence. But eggs bring more to the table than just protein. They're rich in choline, a nutrient that supports brain health and memory. And truth is, many seniors don't get nearly enough of it. If you've ever felt mentally sluggish or had those forgetful moments, your brain might just be asking for more choline. And let's not forget the yolk. That's where the magic is. It's loaded with vitamin D for bone strength, vitamin A for your eyes and immune system, and B vitamins that help with energy and nerve function. The whole egg works together like a tiny natural multivitamin. What I love most? They're easy. So easy. Scrambled, boiled, poached, made into an omelet with a few veggies. Add a little olive oil or butter, some sea salt, maybe a sprinkle of herbs, and just like that, you've got a meal that fuels your body without the sugar crash. So please, don't skip the yolk. Don't buy into those old myths that said you had to. Nature packaged everything you need, right there in one little shell. Now, while we're on the topic of healthy fats, I can't leave out one of my absolute favorites, extra virgin olive oil. They call it liquid gold for a reason. It's been a staple in Mediterranean diets for centuries. And when you look at the long, healthy lives of people in those regions, it's no coincidence. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, the kind that support healthy cholesterol and protect your heart. And after 60, heart health becomes even more important. Olive oil gives you a gentle, natural way to care for it, with every meal. But the benefits go even deeper. Olive oil is full of antioxidants, especially polyphenols, that help reduce inflammation throughout your body. That means less joint pain, more mental clarity, and better overall mobility. Now, you may not feel the difference overnight, but with consistent use, olive oil quietly works behind the scenes, supporting every system in your body. Here's something else most people don't realize. The healthy fats in olive oil actually help your body absorb more nutrients from the foods you eat. So when you drizzle olive oil over spinach, cabbage, or grilled fish, you're not just adding flavor, you're boosting the nutritional value of the whole meal. The key is choosing the right kind. Look for extra virgin, cold pressed, and ideally in a dark glass bottle to protect it from light and heat. A good olive oil should smell a little grassy and taste slightly peppery. That's how you know the antioxidants are still alive and well. Use it generously, but wisely. A tablespoon or two a day can make a real difference. Cook with it. Dress your vegetables with it. Even take a spoonful straight if you like. It's one of those foods that feels indulgent, but is quietly working hard to help you feel young and stay vibrant. And speaking of nourishing foods that often get overlooked, let's talk about chicken thighs. That's right. Not the lean breast everyone always talks about, but the flavorful, juicy thigh. For years we were told to avoid dark meat, but the truth is, chicken thighs are one of the most underrated sources of protein and nutrients for people over 60. They're easier to chew, more flavorful, and often more affordable than chicken breasts. And when you leave the skin on and the bone in, you're actually getting even more nutritional value. That extra fat? It's not something to fear. After 60, your body actually benefits from having a little more healthy fat in your diet. It supports your joints, fuels your brain, and helps keep your hormones in balance. Chicken thighs are rich in protein, of course, but they're also high in zinc and iron. These are minerals your body needs to support immunity, energy, and healing. Zinc, especially, is something many older adults don't get enough of, and it plays a big role in keeping your body resilient. And let's be honest, they just taste better. When cooked right with crispy skin and tender meat, they satisfy you in a way dry, bland chicken breast never quite does. And here's the best part: you don't need sugary sauces or heavy breading to make them delicious. Just a little olive oil, some salt and pepper, maybe a few herbs, then into the oven they go. There's something comforting about a home-cooked piece of chicken. It feels familiar. It brings back memories of Sunday dinners and family meals around the table. And in a world that often feels rushed and noisy, meals like that ground us. They remind us of what matters, and that taking care of yourself doesn't have to be complicated. All it takes is a few simple, real foods and a little intention. Let's keep going, because there are still a couple more foods I want to share with you. One of them is creamy, green, and surprisingly filling. The other comes from the sea, and it might be the best thing you can do for your brain right now. But first, you guessed it, avocado. Now, if you're someone who grew up hearing that fat was the enemy, I get it. I really do. For decades, we were told to cut out fat, avoid butter, skip the creamy stuff, but now we know better. The truth is, not all fats are bad. In fact, some fats are essential, especially as we get older. And avocado? It's one of the best sources of healthy fat you can put in your body. It's smooth, it's satisfying, and it's packed with monounsaturated fats, the kind that support your heart, lower bad cholesterol, and help keep your arteries flexible and strong. After 60, cardiovascular health becomes even more important, and avocados give you a simple, natural way to care for your heart, without relying on medication or complex routines. But this fruit, and yes, it's technically a fruit, offers more than just heart benefits. Avocados are high in potassium, even more than bananas, and potassium plays a key role in keeping your blood pressure steady, your nerves calm, and your muscles working the way they should, which, as you already know, is critical for maintaining strength and independence as we age. Another thing I love about avocados: they help keep you full, without the crash. Their mix of healthy fats and fiber helps stabilize your blood sugar, so you avoid those mid-afternoon slumps and those late-night cravings that leave you reaching for something sweet. They're one of the best ways to feel naturally satisfied, without turning to anything processed. And the best part, they couldn't be easier to use. Just slice one open, sprinkle on a little sea salt, maybe squeeze in some lemon or a drizzle of olive oil, and eat it right out of the shell. You can mash it onto low-carb toast, dice it into a salad, or turn it into a creamy dip. However you enjoy it, your body will recognize the nourishment and put it to good use. Now, I saved one of the best for last. If there's a food that feels like it was made especially for folks over 60, it's this one. Wild-caught salmon. Not the farm-raised kind, pumped full of things your body doesn't need. I'm talking about the real deal, salmon raised in cold, clean waters. Yes, you can taste the difference, but more importantly, your body can feel it. Wild salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and these aren't just nice-to-haves, they're essential. Your body can't make them on its own. You have to get them through food. And the older we get, the more important those fats become. They support brain function, they ease inflammation, they improve mood, and they help protect your heart. Let's talk about the brain first. If you felt forgetful, scattered, or just not as sharp as you used to be, salmon might be your best friend. Omega-3s help reduce inflammation in the brain, and they support the structure of your brain cells. It's like giving your mind a little tune-up every time you eat it. Then there's joint health, that creaky knee or that stiff shoulder you've been dealing with. Chronic, low-level inflammation is probably part of the picture. And while there's no magic fix, salmon is one of the most powerful natural tools we have to fight that inflammation from the inside out. Now add in the fact that salmon is a rich source of high-quality protein. Protein that repairs tissue, preserves muscle, and helps keep your energy up. It's no wonder this fish has earned its reputation. And there's more. Salmon also contains astaxanthin. That's the antioxidant that gives it its pink color. It helps protect your skin from aging, supports eye health, and even gives your immune system a little boost. And the best part? It's delicious. pan-seared with lemon and herbs, roasted with garlic and olive oil, flaked over a salad or served warm at dinner. It's a meal that feels indulgent, but quietly works hard behind the scenes to take care of you. Now, I know we've covered a lot today, from the humble cabbage to the mighty salmon. Each of these 10 foods has something unique to offer your body right now at this stage of life. And here's the thing. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight, as even starting with just one or two of these can make a real difference. Because the truth is, it's never too late to feel good in your own skin. You don't have to be in perfect health to feel better. You don't need expensive supplements or a complicated plan. What you need, what we all need, are a few real whole foods that work with our bodies instead of against them. Foods that give you energy instead of stealing it, that nourish you instead of dragging you down. Maybe for you, that means starting your day with scrambled eggs and spinach, or swapping out your usual snack for a handful of walnuts. Maybe it's trying sardines for the first time, or simply using more olive oil at dinner. Whatever it looks like, every small step matters. So if any part of this resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. What's one food on this list that you're excited to try? Or maybe one you already love? Leave a comment below. I read every single one. Your stories genuinely inspire me and others in this community too. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more ways to feel strong, clear, and energized at any age. We're building something here, a community of people who aren't just getting older. They're living better, stronger, smarter, with intention, and with care. Here's to meals that heal, foods that fuel, and days that feel just a little bit lighter. You deserve to feel good. Not someday, but today. Let's make it happen. One bite at a time,